You need to do a gauge square when following a pattern where size matters, for example when making clothing. It is basically a swatch of knitting that you use to make sure the size of your stitches match that of the pattern. At the beginning of each pattern, there will be a gauge square section. It will usually tell you how many rows and how many stitches will measure 10 by 10 centimeters. Make your gauge square 6 stitches wider and 6 rows longer than what is stated in the pattern. This is so you can measure in the center of the gauge square. I have made a template out of cardboard, which is 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters. I use this to measure all my gauge squares. Count the number of rows and the number of stitches you have made within the 10 centimeter section. Now this is the important bit. If you have more stitches within the 10 centimeters than the pattern states, this will mean your stitches are smaller than that of the designer. This will mean you need to do the gauge square again with a larger size needle. If you have less stitches within the 10 centimeters, this means your stitches are bigger than that of the designer. This means you will have to redo your gauge square with a smaller size needle. A difference between 1 or 2 stitches within this 10 centimeter section could make a big difference in the size of your finished garment. There are 2 reasons as to why your stitches can vary in size from that of the designer. The first one is tension. Each knitter's tension can vary slightly. Tension is how tight or loose that you knit your stitches. The second reason could be down to your choice of yarn. If you are using the same yarn as the pattern, this shouldn't be an issue. If using a different yarn, it may be a different thickness to that what was used in the pattern. You would think that, for example, all Aran yarns are the same thickness, but they are not. If you compare one Aran yarn to another, there can be quite a large difference in the thickness of the yarn.